Aloha, it's Kiana Cayabyab, and here are today's top Hawaii headlines from the editors at the Honolulu Star-Advertiser. Also, mahalo to Longs Drugs Hawaii for sponsoring the show. Head on over to your neighborhood Longs Drugs for all your shopping needs. Today's the last day to nominate your favorites for Hawaii's Best for the nomination round, so be sure to get your picks in before midnight. The top 5 nominees in each category will move on to the next. Voting begins on May 14th and runs for 1 month. You can vote by print or online ballots, and winners will be revealed in our special Hawaii's Best section on August 31st. Concerns are growing over a deteriorating boardwalk fronting the Halekulani Hotel in Waikiki. The narrow concrete path, known as the Halekulani Boardwalk, stretches across Kawehewehe, an ancient Hawaiian healing site, and connects beachgoers between the Halekulani and Outrigger hotels. But the once sandy shoreline has eroded significantly, leaving the boardwalk slick, uneven, and without railings or barriers. Despite warning signs, several people have reportedly slipped and fallen. coastal scientist Dolan Eversole says the beach next to the boardwalk has lost 5 feet of sand and receded 30 feet over the past 6 years. While the city had previously installed fences to block access, erosion took them out as well. The state recently approved a permit for Halekulani to make walkway repairs, but the situation highlights a larger issue: chronic beach loss in Waikiki, one of the most vulnerable areas on Oahu due to sea level rise, land subsidence, and aging infrastructure. Experts say if action isn't taken, Waikiki's iconic beaches and the infrastructure behind them could disappear. Efforts to save Waikiki Beach are gaining momentum as local stakeholders push forward with a multi-phase restoration and mitigation plan. The Waikiki Beach Special Improvement District Association is working with state agencies and experts to develop a strategy that could cost up to $60 million and take until 2028 to complete. coastal specialist Dolan Eversole says the plan includes emergency repairs to hazardous walkways like the Halekulani Boardwalk, midterm sand replenishment, and long-term shoreline stabilization using T-head groins, rock structures designed to trap sand and slow erosion. The initial pilot project would place 5,000 cubic yards of sand at 3 priority locations: Kawehewehe, Grays, and Sheraton beaches. Advocates say the investment is worth it, with Waikiki generating over $2 billion annually in visitor spending. But without action, experts warn that continued erosion could collapse seawalls, damage underground utilities, and threaten homes and businesses along the coast. A 33-year-old man was killed and a 32-year-old woman seriously injured in a hit-and-run crash early Friday morning in Kaneohe. Honolulu police say the man was walking northbound on Kahikili Highway around 1:20 a.m. when he was struck by an unknown vehicle. The driver fled the scene without rendering aid. Moments later, a second car with a 52-year-old woman and her 19-year-old passenger stopped to help, but a chain reaction crash followed. A third vehicle driven by a 55-year-old woman was rear-ended by a 40-year-old man's car. That collision forced the parked vehicle into the victim, who was still lying on the ground. The man was pronounced dead at the scene. The injured woman was transported to the hospital in serious condition. This marks Oahu's 24th traffic fatality this year, more than double the total at this time last year. Police continue to investigate and are asking anyone with information to contact HPD's traffic division. Families seeking answers in unsolved or closed investigations now have a new path forward. Governor Josh Green recently signed Act 17, a new law that gives immediate family members the right to request the closing report of a law enforcement investigation, a move inspired by the decades-long quest for justice by Andrew Nakoa Sr., whose son was fatally stabbed in 2004. Under the law, families can receive these reports after all legal proceedings are complete, or after 5 to 7 years, unless the case is reopened within 6 months. While some law enforcement agencies oppose the bill, citing concerns over jeopardizing future investigations, supporters say it's a critical step toward transparency and closure. The law applies statewide and is effective immediately. Advocates like Senator Carl Rhodes, who introduced the bill, say the goal is simple: to ensure families are no longer left in the dark about how their loved ones died, and to give them the answers they deserve. In the wake of heartbreaking cases of child abuse on Oahu, state lawmakers are advancing legislation that would create a new crime: child torture. Senate Bill 281 would define torture as a Class A felony, carrying penalties of up to 20 years in prison. Supporters say it's a needed distinction from general child abuse, addressing extreme cases involving starvation, physical restraints, and prolonged psychological trauma. The measure is gaining momentum following the deaths of 11-year-old Azealia Pili-Ayu and 10-year-old Gianna Bradley, both of whom were victims of sustained and horrific abuse. Honolulu police, prosecutors, and child advocates have testified that current laws don't go far enough to hold perpetrators accountable for such brutality. Data from Hawaii's Children's Justice Centers shows a rise in severe abuse cases this year, especially on Oahu and in West Hawaii. For more on these stories and all the latest headlines, subscribe to the Honolulu Star-Advertiser. Visit Hawaii's top source for breaking news online at staradvertiser.com and download the Star-Advertiser mobile app. Mahalo, have a great day, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.